Why is it that people who aren't doing anything with their life always have the most to say and always tend to act like they know how the world works or how you should go about things when they aren't doing the exact things that they're telling you to do? For me, for example, this mainly generates or is surrounded around the topic of success, and how so many people that aren't successful will try to tell you how to be successful, regardless of what that looks like to you, what success looks like to you. If you know that you're on your own journey, if you know that you're on your own grind, your own path, and that somebody else has a completely different outlook on life, because everybody does, whether you want to, take it as simple as people choosing to have their own hobbies and passions, or as complex as if you take two people that believe in God, both of their gods are going to be different to their eyes because they have different beliefs on what God is to them. But yet we all believe in this, higher power, or at least I do. But a lot of this, but you see so many people that, like, for entrepreneurs, and I've dealt with this a lot, especially, you're on your grind, you're building something, you're doing something, and you look crazy to other people because they don't understand what you're doing, but they don't have the same goals and dreams as you. So why would you listen to them if they don't even know what they're talking about? If your goal is to be famous on social media, and that's what success is to you, is building an influence and a brand, a personal brand, and being able to live off of being who you are, and your parents or aunts or whoever don't even understand social media, and so they just think that you're posting garbage, and like, why are you posting on social media all the time? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And they don't even understand that you can make money from it. Then why would you listen to them? Why would you give a fuck? Most importantly, I heard this the other day, if somebody isn't going to pay your bills, next time someone questions what you're doing, ask them, are you going to pay my bills? And just don't say nothing else. Just ask them, are you going to pay my bills? Of course they're going to say no. Unless they happen to be rich and just want to say yes, which is almost never going to happen. So let's just assume everybody is going to say no. And then that's the end of the conversation. You're not going to pay my bills. What I'm chasing is going to pay my bills one day, because I believe it. I know that I'm putting in the proper work and heading down the right direction. I know that even if I'm not making money now, the work that I'm putting in, whether it's posting or starting a new business, it is going to pay off, and it is going to pay my fucking bills. So only I or you can be responsible for your own well-being and your own success, your own living. So if somebody else isn't going to take care of you, like when you were a kid and had parents that didn't have responsibilities, then why the fuck are you going to let someone else's opinion dictate how you live your life? It's always the people, even on social media especially, no matter what you're doing, what you're posting about, if someone feels like you're trying to come across as better than them, even if you're just simply showing them what you're doing, or showing how you're building a business, or giving advice or tips, there's always someone that has the urge to comment about how you're wrong in some way. They always have to voice their opinion, like, yo, you should do it this way, you should do it that way, why aren't you doing this, that's wrong, this is wrong, you're going to lose your money, that's a dumb idea. And that's what these haters, these comments are. And then you go to their profiles, 90% of the time they are either private profiles, they have a fake name, or a fake profile picture, or all of the above. They aren't even secure enough to be on social media with their real name, their real photo, or a public profile where they are open to judgment as well, because they're insecure of who they are. And they're not willing to accept the hate. But you best believe that they are able to go on other people's content and hate on you. That's something I think social media should change. If you want to have a private profile, then you should only be able to see or access people that you have accepted to follow you. You shouldn't even be allowed to see the entire vast majority of what social media has to offer if you don't even allow others to come to your profile and see what you're posting as a public profile. The fake name and fake profile picture is a different category, but just the fact that someone can have a private profile, hide behind that, but still go out and post publicly, but when you go back to their profile, you can't see what they're up to. I think that's bullshit. And that's one thing I would change about social media. I'm not sure how it would affect the algorithms and how it would affect the flow of things and growth of social media, but realistically, why should somebody be able to? It's like kind of like the stock market in a sense. It's like if you want to be a private company, then I have no right to know your numbers. But if you want to be a public company and you want to be on the stock market, then everybody has the right to know exactly what you're fucking up to. So with social media, if you have a private profile, only the people that you have accepted to follow you should you be able to follow back or see and or commenting should be turned off if you don't have a public profile, to where if you see something and you want to type your little negative bullshit because you're insecure, you're not allowed to unless you switch that your profile to public. And it's not that you can switch it back to public and private back and forth just so you can post your comments. If you switch it back to private, all of your comments are deleted that you've made. That would be incredible. But I digress, because the whole point of this is about the haters and people trying to tell you how to live your life when they're not doing shit. And so you go to those people's profiles, and let's say they have a public profile, but they still have a fake name, private or fake profile picture, or even if they're just not posting on social media, they have the right or the need to tell you how you should do things. Yet you go to their page and they're not doing any of the things that they're telling you to do. They're not posting on social media. They don't have a fucking business. They're not putting themselves out there, so they're not confident. They don't have something that they're actually passionate about and pushing. And so it's like, how could you hate on somebody that's trying, unless you are somebody that doesn't try, unless you are that loser that is so envious and mad of other people even trying, making the decision and choice to take a risk on what they want to be in life or what they want to become, and you won't do nothing. So therefore, you spend your time hating on other people, spreading your fucking nonsense, and it absolutely means nothing. It has no value. And so, practice what you fucking preach, okay? That's what this video is about. Practice what you preach. If you are not doing the things that other people are doing, and you're not even in the same field, and you have no real knowledge, it's just your fucking opinion, keep your mouth shut and stay in your lane. If you're not posting on social media, you have no right to call somebody else cringe for trying when you won't even put one fucking video out because you're insecure as fuck, okay? And you know it. You look in the mirror and you won't even look into your own eyes into the mirror because you're afraid to look at yourself, because you're miserable and you're unhappy and you hate your life. But you think you deserve the right, because of free speech, to comment your shitty opinion because you won't try while others do. Shut your fucking mouth. Practice what you preach. And if all you do is be a lazy sack of shit and you're not trying, then that's the only thing that you're allowed to preach, is being lazy and not trying. And only losers are going to listen to you. I don't go around on other people's content spreading negativity. Of course, some comments I make could come off as negativity. It's really just criticism on how I see things. But I'm actually out here putting myself in the limelight as well, making this content, posting 10, 20 times a day across multiple platforms, So I do have the right to make comments, and I don't go out of my way to be negative. Again, it could come off as negative, but it's just a perspective, and how you take something is how you're going to take it. Someone could say something nice in a weird way, and you could take it as a diss or as something mean. But again, I'm putting myself out there. I don't have a private profile, and that same person, if they wanted to take that personally, could come back onto my page and say something about me. Everybody has the right to do that when you're actually putting yourself out there and you're not insecure about being out in the public, without the public eye being on you. And so practice what you preach, okay? Successful people don't spend their whole time on social media commenting. I spend the majority of my time on social media, 95 to 99%, creating, posting, and editing content and scrolling to get new ideas, which is brutal because of the hit and the miss. Sometimes you end up getting caught in the doom scroll, and next thing you know, you're wasting a bunch of time. That can happen too. But regardless, practice what you preach. If you want to be successful, start putting in the work. Then you have the right to tell others not even tell others, but explain to others your journey and what you're doing. But that does not give you the right to make you think that you know it all. You always have to be a student who is willing to learn and grow while also being a coach or mentor of some sort and helping others reach their dreams and goals along the way. But that's not going to happen if you're somebody that sits on social media, talks all this shit, and tries to tell others how to live their life when you're not living your life that exact same way. Practice what you preach.